I got red light going on, going for like, some Halloween realness. Here it is, the reaction, the review you've all been waiting for. I mean, I'm a big kid. I love Halloween. If I didn't get this out before Halloween or on Halloween, I just see it as a wasted effort to bring out the red light. But anyway, yes. Despite the reputation that they have gotten over the years thanks to Twilight, I still love vampires. I love watching movies or television shows about those stories. So when it was announced that there was going to be a new Dracula coming out with some new twists on the original lore, I was like, yay! And it was going to be run by Moffat and Gatiss, the same guys behind the new Doctor Who and Sherlock. I was like, okay. They kind of fucked up Sherlock royally in the last 2 seasons. And from what I've heard about Doctor Who, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna shit on it based on the current works of these two men. Because maybe they just got tired of doing the same old shit, and now they're doing new shit that they're really passionate about, and it'll be a lot better.
I'm asking Mr. Harker if you had sexual intercourse with Count Dracula.
Shit! I got a love-hate relationship with this miniseries. There's like so many things they get right, and then a lot of big important shit they get completely wrong. I don't know, with the way I'm talking about it, this might be a combination of a reaction and a review. I haven't decided yet. Let's do it as I watch it, because I think that's when my thoughts are the most clear and concise. So let's get into Netflix's Dracula, or BBC's Dracula, whichever you happened upon drunk on Halloween night. I don't know. Oh, Netflix. We ain't doing too well now, boo. I'm assuming this is the show about Gary, who is hung.
Are you hungry, Mr. Harker?
I'm fine.
Just suffering from a case of baby head.
I'm Sister Agatha.
I've seen this already, so I'm just going to give her a little pre-fuck you.
Sister Angela tells me you wrote all day and all night for a whole week. Please, sit with me.
Yeah, there's certain shit about this show, like even little shit. All they had to do was show her dropping the bag onto the ground, and you hear a wooden clunking noise, and you know, oh shit, that's some steaks. But no, the bitch literally opens the bag like, see, I'm vampire killer, vampire show. Like we dumb as hell, we fucking dumb.
Apparently I cannot be trusted alone with a man.
They said the same thing about Amber Heard in her high school yearbook.
I'm safe with you.
Why?
This is a house of God.
A house of God, is it? Well, that's good. We could do with a man about the place, eh, sister?
I get it. Faithless nun, get it? Like, made a joke there, but the joke falls flat because logistically, despite you not believing in God, a church is a house of God.
2 years ago, a church in this town collapsed. The roof fell on the congregation, killed everyone as they prayed. The priest was the only survivor. Priests are like that.
The fuck does that even mean? What's your problem? I don't know what I'm saying half the time. This habit is so tight, it's cutting off the circulation to my brain.
The way you talk.
The way you talk, it's like Moffat and Gatiss had some residual Sherlock jokes they hadn't tested out yet. Oh, I hate this part.
You have something in your eye.
Why don't you stop fucking looking at it? Maybe blow. Oh, fuck.
Is it gone?
What the?
So now you may tell me everything that occurred in the time you spent with the Count of this castle. I'm asking Mr. Harker if you had sexual intercourse with Count Dracula.
What a way to begin. I have to ask you, did you get some vamp dick? Honestly, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. Agatha is Van Helsing, yes. We get a lady Van Helsing, which I would not have a fucking problem with if she wasn't such a Sherlock ripoff. Oh, everything is so quirky. People are dying around me. So much excitement. Oh, I'm smarter than everyone else, and that makes me a sociopath. And she's so fucking overhyped throughout the entire show. She doesn't really do shit? Like, you think of Van Helsing, you think, oh, he's setting traps, he's staking motherfuckers. She just kind of depends on Dracula's inability to fucking kill the bitch. And I don't know why. This whole show starts exactly like the Bram Stoker's version. Jonathan Harker, he gets invited to Dracula's castle to handle some fucking real estate business. This gypsy bitch is like, hey, look, take the fucking cross. You gonna need it, fam. A couple miles away from this fucking castle, the driver's like, look, I'm not going any farther. And at least there's some really funny, clunky dialogue.
The Count will find you here.
How?
He finds people. He will send his driver.
Like, you can't do both. You can't do creepy, vague dialogue and a direct answer.
He finds people. He will send his driver.
Those don't go together. The thing I liked about Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula is that it was kind of hinted at that Dracula was the driver. Here it's just like, yeah, evil eyes, you fucking get it? So Jonathan makes it to the castle unscathed. And here comes our Dracula, looking like fucking Christopher Lambert's Raiden with lupus. Like, he's got this really fucking obnoxious Transylvanian accent. Like, it's really bad.
People here, they are so narrow. What is the purpose of a mirror? I wither among them. Where there is flesh, there are flies.
And I'm thinking, like, how are you going to keep that up throughout the entire show? I'm hoping there won't be some kind of loophole with Dracula's powers in which he suddenly has a British accent.
You're speaking English.
I learned it. It tasted funny.
Tasted?
I could be wrong, but I think you are having a nightmare.
But I have faith that won't happen. Yeah, alright, so Jonathan, Drac, they handle their little real estate business. Drac's already laying down the hints thick, throwing around little innuendos constantly.
They are without flavor.
If it wasn't for the fantastic acting of Claes Bang, it would grate on my fucking nerves. Harker mentions his eventual departure, and then Dracula's like,
No.
Sorry?
nah, bitch, you gonna stay with me for a month. Those sexy ass.
I shall absorb you.
That mean he sucked your cock, Mr. Harker? And that's what I will say about this show, is that the set design is fucking fantastic. You could tell there was so much work and so much care put into it. I'm just so sorry it's connected to such a crappy show. Dracula at least tries to be somewhat covert in other iterations, but like, Jonathan takes out a mirror and this nigga's like, what?
Forgive me. I am clumsy.
He zooms across the room like fucking Sonic, and Chris Brown's the fucking mirror. Like, why? Jonathan pricks his finger, little blood drops, and Dracula's like, blah. Relax! You crotchety old bitch! For some reason, Dracula knows about Mina.
Did I mention Mina?
I think you spoke of her beauty at dinner.
Don't recall that.
But we don't really get the sense that he reads minds. I mean, when he drinks blood, he absorbs personalities and thoughts, accents, information.
How could he know my thoughts?
Perhaps in your blood. Perhaps stories flow in our veins.
But he didn't drink any of Jonathan's blood yet, so how the fuck did he know about Mina?
Blood is not nothing. Blood is lives.
You are quite certain he did not say blood is life. He said blood is lives.
Oh, such stupid writing. It's almost like he could have said blood is life, and it would have had the same effect it would have otherwise. It goes on. More weird shit happens. Some rando bitch scratches a message into his window. Then Helsing starts questioning him about a fucking wet dream he had. It's implied here that Dracula can glamour people into giving him blood. He can make people think that they see a loved one or someone they're comfortable with in order for him to take what he wants and bounce. And you need to remember that. Keep that in mind. It's gonna be important. In the morning, after Drac got his little sucky, Jonathan notices the message that was scratched into the window.
So it struck you as strange, of course. The writing. Help us.
It was upside down.
But even that extraordinary physical feat is surely not the point of interest.
And what is?
What is remarkable?
Excellent, Count.
So it was safe for him to assume that someone else from the same country might also speak English. How the fuck is that unreasonable to you?
You are an Englishman.
You're fucking a white male!
You know what I'm saying about this writing being kind of stupid? I'll give the show this though, like the way they showed the passage of time and how Jonathan was getting weaker and weaker while simultaneously trying to find a way out of the castle. All the editing and the special effects involved in that scene. Really good.
Your presence has invigorated me. Fresh blood.
You know what I'm saying? It just... Because why would you want to be covert? And it's at this point we realize that Dracula's looking more and more debonair the more he sucks on Jonathan.
Ah, yes. The driver.
Would you look at this? Just look at it.
Is there anyone living in this castle?
No, Jonathan.
Dramatic.
There's no one
Pause.
living here.
Shut up! Jonathan continues to be fucking nosy. He's trying to find that girl who scratched the message into the window, treading through the depths of Castle Dracula. He ends up finding a lot of other fucked up shit. I like how shit crawls out of the little spaces, and the motions the zombies make just make them look even creepier. Oh look, you made it so far down into the castle, you found a homage.
Is there any salvation for such creatures?
I don't know. Have faith. Faith is a sleeping draught for children and simpletons. What we must have is a plan.
Well, you need faith in order to carry out a plan. Bitch!
Dracula's one of them, isn't he? Undead.
From your account, I think he is much more complicated.
Yeah, if you go to Dracula's Facebook, it just constantly says it's complicated. And this is where we are introduced to the final form of Dracula, played by Claes Bang.
I am Claes, and I am playing Dracula.
Claes was really the only one that was in our sights, really.
He's brilliant as Dracula.
There's something in Claes' implacable black eyes and his sort of angular face and his amazing Byronic looks that sell that at the same time. You know, it's the kind of perfect combination.
How can I not recognize her face?
Well, you do look rather drained.
But yeah, he's great, despite the corny material he's given.
You said you didn't drink.
Wine. Now,
that joke is repeated multiple times. Get ready. And this is the scene where you realize how much they've dumbed down Dracula. The whole time, he's trying to get Jonathan to write 3 letters to Mina, assuring her that he's okay. And of course, Jonathan, he's all fucked up. He's senile as hell from the lack of blood. He can't even recognize his own girlfriend. And through the whole thing, Jonathan can hear a baby crying.
what was that?
That's nothing. Sounded like a baby.
Oh, no. There's no baby. Now, Johnny.
Instead of, I don't know, doing what he did to him earlier, glamoring him into not hearing the goddamn thing, he instead just continually gaslights him.
I can hear it crying.
There is no baby.
The baby!
Johnny, there is no baby.
And I'm just like, why? It has been proven that you can glamour people, that you could conjure images or manipulate their mind to make them think they can see or hear something that's not really there. So why don't you just make him think he's hearing some other shit? They sacrificed Dracula's powers, his cunning, for a fucking running joke. This would have been so much fucking better if Jonathan thinks he hears a baby at first, and then he suddenly doesn't anymore. And then Dracula's like, oh, what baby? Jonathan, I think you've gone mad, son. And then when the scene's over, he looks over at Dracula across the room, about to go up the stairs, and sees like a little hand reach out of the bag. Then he realizes that was a fucking baby. God damn it. And that's what compels him to like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. That would have been so much better, but they instead have Dracula act like a fucking retard.
Now I could stay here, dying piece by piece till I found myself nailed into one of those boxes.
Or, bitch, I gotta spell it out for you?
Or I could kill Count Dracula.
You're supposed to be the smart character.
But the thing is, when you're slow, you know you need to pay attention. It's the clever ones who never listen.
Evidenced by her actions later in the series. There's this whole fucking thing about a map to find Dracula's brides in a fucking basement somewhere. I don't know why this is in here. It doesn't really add anything. I think just Moffat and Gaddis just, like I said, it's just residual Sherlock shit. They're still on that bullshit. They still want characters to go around and solve mysteries. So they had Jonathan, enfeebled and a little retarded, to solve a fucking elaborate puzzle to find some room in Castle Dracula. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All I'm saying is the other Jonathan Harkers I don't think they needed like puzzles and maps to find a fucking basement. So he finds the bride room, the bridal suite. These crates connected to feeding tubes where they get their flies and their rats, you know, their lives.
Look at it! It is the sign of the cross. The symbol of our Lord.
I know. It's pretty.
Yeah, so his brides are not affected by crucifixes. Remember that little detail as well, because we're gonna come back to it.
I have looked for God everywhere in this world and never found him.
Then why are you here?
Well, like many women of my age, I'm trapped in a loveless marriage, maintaining appearances for the sake of a roof over my head.
So you're a complacent sponge. Apparently, there was a baby.
Why did you kill her? Who? Oh, because I wanted to see if she would die, I suppose. Johnny, don't give me that look. You were a child once, you know the feeling. Didn't you break your toys apart to see how they worked?
Another thing to keep in mind. I mean, I hope you guys are keeping up, because it's gonna get trill.
Are you going to kill me? Of course I'm going to kill you. Why does death always come as such a shock to mortals?
Well, it's not the death part. It's really being held captive by a bloodthirsty boomer in a dank castle. That's more the surprise than the death part.
You've read my account.
Perhaps it will help to refresh your memory.
Dracula is my master. Dracula will be obeyed. Dracula is the beginning and the end. Dracula is all things. Dracula is God. What? I didn't write this.
You thought you had written an account of your stay at Castle Dracula. The only account you've given is the account you're giving right now.
Okay, so I'm guessing Dracula got inside Jonathan's mind. Like, I want to believe that Dracula was like, I don't want you spilling the beans about my shit. So I'm going to manipulate you into writing a bunch of nonsense. So you're going to go spilling the beans about my existence, which would have been smart. But Jonathan's telling them a detailed account of his stay at Castle Dracula anyway. So, like, this is really confusing. He is in the fucking sun right now. He's in the sun.
I'm going to England to destroy everything and everyone you love. But if you give me your word that you won't try to stop me, I'll spare you.
Like, dude, don't you want to die? I wouldn't want to live with the knowledge that I would have a Patrick Willems hairline for the rest of my fucking life.
Welcome to the mountain tops.
Oh.
Stay. You could be my finest bride.
He clearly has sunlight shining on the left side of his face in this scene.
Why was I brought to you?
I am known to have some expertise in the realm of witchcraft and the occult.
Lesbian!
I have sought to find God all my life and never found a sign of him anywhere. Why now? Why you? Why him?
Why you? Why him? I hate her fucking accent so much.
Count Dracula fears the cross. He fears the symbol of our Lord.
No, that's bullshit, because his fucking runoff isn't even affected by the cross, so that's... No, it's clear that the sunlight bounced off the cross and onto him, and then that's why he started burning.
He fears the symbol of our Lord.
The girl didn't.
Never mind the girl, she was nothing.
You dense motherfucker!
I am jumping to conclusions, despite details that contradict my conclusion.
You have found the devil.
If it takes the devil to bring me to my Lord, then I say, bring on the devil!
I don't.
Now that was really funny.
I'm nothing.
Would Mina think that?
If she could see me, yes, she would.
Keller. Oh, Johnny.
Oh, that nun was really Mina the whole time. Yeah, I really don't care about their relationship.
Dearest one, we are to be married.
You just have to remove your several hundred scabs. Okay, so now we're at the point where Dracula shows up to the convent, summons hundreds of fucking bats to storm the place. Keep that in mind. Also, Dracula's in the form of a wolf, so he is capable of morphing into other beings. And the way he transforms back into a guy is so fucking gross.
Why are my drippings with goo?
And while this is going on, Jonathan's trying really hard not to eat this bitch. But Mina, of course, makes the situation even worse, continually coming near him, keeping the blood on her face, egging him on to basically suck her fucking dry, because she's a fucking idiot.
You are Jonathan Harker. You would never harm me.
You are Jonathan Harker, and you would never harm me. Yeah, you would, bitch! Let's get back to this dreadful shit.
Suffer unto me.
For I have the ass of Hank Hill. This is the worst fucking scene at the entire episode. It's so dumb. This is the pinnacle of Dracula being completely contradictory. I'm gonna detail everything wrong with this. It makes my fucking blood boil. Apparently the nuns are armed with stakes.
Sisters, present arms.
It's cool at first, and until you realize that, okay, have they been trained to use those?
Ah, we have a winner! A bee can always find nectar.
And a trap always needs honey.
I don't think this is a trap.
Well, it wouldn't be a very good trap if you did.
Well, it's not a good trap, because you got a bunch of middle-aged bitches who have never taken wood, ready to give it at a moment's notice. So really, that was supposed to be some kind of intimidation tactic for Dracula? They thought that was going to intimidate him. That fucking thing that crawled out of a wolf! Okay! She opens the gate to the convent, testing the theory that they cannot be allowed in a residence they're not invited to. But, like, it's a convent. Does that really count as a residence? That's like him not being able to go inside a hospital or a school. Usually vampires need to be let in by the owner of the domicile. Who fucking owns this place? If it's Jesus' domicile, he ain't gonna give him permission anytime soon.
You are most specifically not invited in. Oh. So it's true then. That's interesting. A vampire may not enter any abode unless invited in. I wasn't sure about that one.
You unlocked the gate and you weren't sure.
So these nuns, who are not prepared to kill this motherfucker, she endangers them because she does not know for a fact that this theory works. So now we've established that Agatha Van Helsing is a huge cunt. And her self-satisfied look when he can't come in. Like, I just want to fucking punch you.
A vampire? Oh, the iron wasn't keeping you out. You could have torn it apart like matchwood.
And why the fuck didn't he? He wants his bride, he wants some dinner, and yet he didn't think to tear open the gate. Why?
What's stopping you? Why do you need an invitation?
You expect me to tell you?
Oh, I don't even expect you to know. A beast can follow rules. I don't expect you to understand them.
I'm sure Dracula, if he suddenly got the mind to try to go into a private domicile without being invited, he would then figure out why he can't do it. He should have had centuries to figure this out, but yet he doesn't know because he's a mere beast? Get the fuck... Like, she's taunting him over and over again. This whole fucking scene. It goes on way too long, by the way. And in several instances, he is clearly either over the threshold or she's over the threshold.
I want to see the limit of your capabilities.
Hello! Look at your sisters.
Armed and ready.
Just enough for him to snatch and kill this bitch. Yet he doesn't try. Ever. It's almost like someone's writing him to be rock fucking stupid. And considering the fact that Dracula is supposed to be intelligent and experimental.
Why did you kill her? Because I wanted to see if she would die, I suppose. Didn't you break your toys apart to see how they worked? You see, sometimes the legends are right. This is not one you can test too often, though.
Why hasn't he fucking tried to kill these hoes? But I think we all know the answer. Is because we have a female Van Helsing. Because of that, we have to depower the male Dracula character in order to prop up the female Van Helsing. There's no other explanation. I'm sure there are people who will be like, well, it's just bad writing. It probably's not gendered. But yeah, she's acting like a pedantic piece of shit this whole scene. She thinks she has the situation under her entire control. This fucking 400-year-old powerful creature who can turn into bats, wolves, and is basically the walking fucking dead, experiments on his brides to make sure he understands his weaknesses and his strengths. He can't fucking kill the bitch! Oh, don't forget him summoning the bats, to come inside this supposed private residence. So he can transport his powers inside the residence, but he can't go in himself. You see what I'm saying? You understand? I know you're still saying it, but Lauren, it's not gendered. You're the one gendering it. Well, for one thing, they fucking gender swapped her. They didn't need to, but they did anyway. Doesn't make sense. Secondly, there's this other scene where she entices him with her blood, trying to prove how weak he is.
Help yourself. Because a dog comes past here most days, we often give it scraps.
And then he starts, like, cringing away from the blood and, like, jumping. Like, I'm sorry, but, like, vampires wouldn't fucking run away from blood. He's got 400 fucking years of being exposed to blood. Why the fuck would he not be able to control himself at this point? We could easily snatch her right now. Really rip the bitch's hand off. Give me that! And on top of that, she gave him the fucking knife.
This is contemptible.
It's like a bitch, like, giving a robber her fucking credit card information, her social security card, everything. You gave him a window into your mind. Now remember, he summoned a bunch of bats to storm the convent. He can use his powers to control things, to go into a private residence. So why doesn't he use his super strength to fucking throw the knife at this bitch? He's sitting there licking it like a dog. But he doesn't think to like, oh. No! Not once! What the fuck?
That is why you can't bear the sight of this. It speaks of the holy virtue you do not possess.
He can bear the sight of it. He's looking at it right fucking now without any problems. What the fuck are you talking about? He's looking at it right now.
No, that's not why I fear the cross. Goodness has got nothing to do with it.
So you say. But how can a mere beast understand its own fear?
I'm sure if like a dog got his ass beat consistently every day, went to a kennel, and then was adopted by a nice family, and expressed PTSD every time he saw a broom, the dog would definitely understand why the fuck he's afraid of brooms. He just can't articulate it because he's a dog. So what you're telling me is, is that Dracula is dumber than a dog? I know it's gendered because they give us this little scene.
Helsing! Van Helsing! What is your interest in me, Agatha? Who are you?
You're every nightmare at once. An educated woman in a crucifix.
You know what I am? I'm your worst fucking nightmare, man. I'm a nigga with a badge.
A fucking 80s movie reference? In your Dracula show? Why? And it's the only one. Like, this is the only time they do it. I want to think that's a homage, but considering how shitty the writing's been, I think they just stole it. They were like, fuck it. Also, why would Dracula care if you're a woman? Like, why would he give a shit? He's a mere beast after all. So why would he give a shit about gender politics? Your food. He doesn't give a fuck either way. Still have a knife. Why don't you just throw it in there and kill one of them for ha-has? Why are you bullshitting right now? Stop fucking bullshitting, please. Yeah, dumbest scene ever. So after all that bullshit, Dracula climbs up the wall. Right into the room where Jonathan is just lying there with a fucking stake in him.
Johnny Blue Eyes. Suicide doesn't work. Don't you think the undead have tried that? Stay through the heart, that's fine. But someone else needs to put it there.
Sorry, nigga. Which is fine, that makes sense. But then he asked Jonathan to let him in. I was fine with thinking that all the nuns own the convent. They all have the power to invite Dracula in. whatever. But Jonathan is just a visitor. So how the fuck is he able to allow Dracula entrance? Because we need this to move on. And then there's this fucking pointless scene where the nun says, "Oh, God is found in our hearts." Some fucking bullshit. Just fucking skip past to her death.
She was clearing her throat. I think it's fine now. Oh, ladies, who's next? Gonna be...
Finally, he gets to kill these bitches. What angers me, though, is that this show is supposed to be gory, and most of their fucking deaths are off-screen. Like I said, I like Kleist. But sometimes he can ham it up a little too much. Would Dracula be acting this, I don't know, current?
Hello, ladies! Oh, we have a winner! And ladies!
As I said before, it's not Kleist's fault. This Dracula is made to look more like a clown.
Catch!
This will be the safest spot. What is it?
Yes, the very brave and powerful Agatha Van Helsing, leaving her entire fucking convent to die. Didn't try to bring any of these other hoes down there to hide, for now.
Oh, of course. Nuns. You have those things. Which work?
Those stakes also work. Where the fuck did they go? Did you hide them up your asses? Oh, I didn't think that people would actually be dying upstairs.
I don't know how you could bear to listen to that.
I brought it on them. Listening was my punishment.
Oh, listening to them die was your punishment. No, the proper punishment for leaving someone to die would be someone leaving you to die. You know, karma. Oh, I listened to them die, that's my punishment. Get the fuck out of here.
The light of the day would burn him to death. Why? He's terrified of the cross, and yet he's no believer. There's one thing that Dracula fears above all. And to destroy him, we must discover it.
Oh my god, once we get to the end and you find out what Dracula's really afraid of, ooh, y'all gonna be like, fuck this show.
He got into the convent. How did he get in here?
Clearly there was an invitation.
Then someone invited him.
No, duh. What are you, regular Einstein?
Mina?
I thought you were... I saw you dead.
Technically, you saw me dead the whole time you were here, bitch.
We cannot trust him.
He's strong. Stronger than you think, and if I'm with him...
Do not invite him in!
Come here, Johnny.
And now we continue with Mina is a fucking dumbass.
Why aren't your eyes blue anymore?
Not my eyes.
Dumb bitch. Oh, well, that's fucked up. Like I said, there's some good stuff about this show.
I've been dying to meet you.
Nigga, just shut up and end the episode. It's kind of difficult. Yeah, I have vampire teeth in. As you remember from part 1, I edited my 2 front teeth. This time around, I was like, you know, I don't want to have to do that. I bought these from my local Halloween store. I just want to keep up with the festive Halloween tradition for the review. Yeah, it's a little difficult to talk with these at times. S's, C's, anything that makes you go like that. Yeah, so we're on episode 2. Y'all remember what I thought about episode 1, right? Just, But if you don't, and you're new to just blah, 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 these fucking teeth. But if you don't know, go watch the first part, just to familiarize yourself with a few details, and then come back. Or don't, because I don't really think it matters. Episode 2 is just so drastically thin. It's so thin, I don't even really know where to start with this review. So I'll start by describing Bram Stoker's version of events, and then just go from there. Dracula gets in a box of dirt, ships himself to England, gradually takes out the passengers and crew one by one, waits until they get close to their destination, kills the captain, and then skips his happy little ass all the way to England. The end. Simple and clean. Yet somehow Moffat and Gataz managed to stretch one chapter of the 1897 book and a 3-minute scene from the Francis Ford Coppola film into a 1 hour and 25-minute episode. 1 hour? That's a fucking movie. It's a movie! To put it in perspective, like the average movie script is about 117 to 120 pages? And the whole voyage on the Demeter only lasted a few pages in the actual book. Like about 14 to 15 pages were stretched out to 117 to 120 pages. Stretched. Like elastic jeans on Lizzo. Expanding on the lore, completely fine. Good with that. You should want to do something different and add your own little flair to an original story. But they consistently waste this fucking time on these new characters they've added that we don't know or care about, who are then trying in vain to decipher how passengers keep coming up missing. A mystery so fucking simple, even paraplegic cricket bugs could figure it out.
Gentlemen, there is a killer on board. In plain sight. Forgive me. It's the sea makes one, ravenous.
Are you dangerous?
Yes, I am terribly dangerous. I've always found that too much is exactly enough.
I'm afraid I'm very careful with what I eat.
Me too. But I'm a vampire.
Sorry, what did you say?
I wonder who it could be. Oh my god. So we have a whole new cast of characters. Let's talk about it. The captain, nebbish crew member, fat crew member, boomer crew member, the one who should have been Van Helsing.
There are monsters in this world, Yamini. Creatures that will leave a shadow on your soul. If once you let them in, I will never let them take you. You are placing yourself in league with this creature. We are not stupid, you know. I'm a man of science.
I, however, recognize your brilliance and look forward to consuming it. What's it to be? Man of reason? Dead or undead?
I mean, an Indian guy with the last name Van Helsing would have been a bit weird. So what would it be? Van Gupta?
So.
And he has a daughter who's deaf. She does sign language and then kills herself. But anyway, closeted gay guy, his beard, and black gay right hand he's secretly in an affair with. Dear God, describing that is exhausting. The Grandma Duchess, who met Dracula years prior. Now, we learn this from a little yarn about a pineapple.
A pineapple?
I'm not even kidding. Like, she's a rich bitch and she got a fucking pineapple in the middle of winter and whatever. Anyway, she dies. The stuttering Bavarian, the simp, and the mysterious passenger in cabin number 9. Ooh. We'll get to that later. Point is, nobody matters. Not a goddamn motherfucker. Like, even the show dead-ass admits we're dealing with a gaggle of dead duds.
At sea, one meets an interesting range of characters. I would advise you not to get too attached to any of them.
That's not to say the writers don't try and fail to justify their presence in the story. As we all know from episode 1, Dracula has the ability to absorb intellect, language, skill from human blood. So his grand fucking plan was disguising himself as this guy named Mr. Belauer and arranging for these specific people to board this specific vessel so he can feed on any particular skill or intellect they may have. Well, apart from the closeted guy, he's not for skill sucking, just skilled sucking. Apparently, Dracula, aka Mr. Belauer, is closeted guy's sponsor / silent partner who, quote, gave him the funds and the position to woo his current beard. His current wealthy beard. Dracula's plan from there was then to woo closeted so he would inherit the money that the beard left to closeted. Why? He's Dracula. Why not just glamour her into giving you the money? Or maybe just seduce her the old-fashioned way? Why does everything have to be so needlessly complicated? What makes his master manipulator shtick so baffling is because of his gluttonous actions and choice of menu, the passengers end up discovering their connection to him very easily.
I'm sure Mr. Belauer has his reasons.
Belauer?
Yes, my silent partner.
And my sponsor.
But not before our totes Brills Van Helsing figures it out.
Dracula, a corruption of the Latin Dracul, meaning dragon, in Romanian, Balaur. The purpose of an alias seems to have eluded you.
I thought it was clever.
Ah, you'll have to be cleverer than that.
Why? Why draw this much attention to yourself, risking inevitable exposure?
I enjoy company and I like people.
Then why do you kill them?
Why'd you pick flowers?
Decoration and the smell. You gonna say anything of fucking substance, dickhead?
It's 4 weeks to England. What do you think I was going to do? Lie around in a box?
Yes! Oh, these teeth. Oh, and Agatha's the passenger in cabin number 9.
I'm in cabin number 9.
No.
They treat it as if it's this huge reveal, but it's glaringly obvious from the start, considering how the last episode ended. What? Y'all don't flirt over a casual game of chess with the unholy hellbeast that exsanguinated your body in a room shaped like the number 9? Fucking normies. They really think the viewing audience is that dumb. What fucking kills me about this show is that they love to criticize the old iterations of Dracula.
Dracula needs to sleep in a coffin or box containing his own native soil. No idea why. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
I don't know if there's any Dracula enthusiasts who are going to sound off in the comments who know why that's a thing. But if you do, I fully encourage it. But holy fucking shit, you got no right. Oh, certain things in the other iterations don't make any sense when your version is a million times more retarded. I mean, what happened to stealthy Dracula? What happened to smart Dracula? It's kind of hard to be a stealthy, shadowy creature of the night. When you spread your alias around to multiple fucking people, walk amongst the passengers that you have manipulated to be there on any occasion possible, with your greatest rival on board who could out you at a moment's notice. In fact, why the fuck didn't she? Like, she's impaired, but she can still talk. She's basically still cognizant. Just, a little weak and impaired. But she can still form words and say things like, that tall guy with the cape who always wears black and is always sinisterly whispering to people? Yeah, you might want to watch out for him. Just an FYI. Sharpen up some steaks, get some garlic together, and waste that motherfucker. You know what I mean? But she does not do that. Because we need to have a third act of just Dracula and Van Helsing together. We need to make the shippers wet. Like, the two actors have chemistry, but the characters do not. There's no fucking reason for them to be cool with each other. I mean, there was one scene where they flash back to the convent.
Come, boy. Suckle.
Well, they're trying to make their relationship all sexy, and I'm like, ugh. I don't like Agatha. I don't see her in that light. She's like your former hippie auntie who fucking teaches at NYU and lectures about critical race theory.
Sucker.
Ew. I want to see her climbing up on Dracula. Who wants to see that? The whole basis around Agatha and Dracula's romantic chemistry is a totally ripped off Twilight of all things. She's got special sexy blood, and that's what makes him attracted to her.
You're exquisite. So much insight, wit, learning. One does not hurry such a vintage.
You're so wonderful, Agatha. You're like my favorite bag of Funyuns. So romantic. Speaking of which, we might as well fast forward to the third act. I'm telling you, there's nothing going on in episode 2. There's nothing there. I mean, there's still the fair share of dumb shit. There's one scene where they're in a circle of Bible pages. They're all huddled together, but then Dracula pops up. He starts taunting them, trying to make them leave the circle so he can snatch them up and suck them. Well, the black gay dude who is with Closeted, he's in a really volatile state. Dracula preys on that.
Stay inside the circle. Do as you're told. Do as they tell you, as you always do, because that's what you're good at, because you're a servant.
He's a little dirty little weaselly coon.
And okay, that's fine. That's good. We're seeing some Dracula manipulation. But here's where it gets really retarded. The black guy has a gun, and Dracula's egging him on to leave the circle. But the black guy has a gun. All he has to do is stand there inside the circle and shoot him from there. But they're making such a huge deal about this scene. Like, Agatha's behind him like, stay in the circle!
Fine, try and shoot him, but from inside the circle. We must stay strong and united and inside the circle!
And she's right. But, like, the show thinks this should be a thing, an option for the black guy. Like anyone would be fucking dumb enough to get close to someone to shoot them.
The reason that bad things happen to you is because you're a dumbass.
What? It's a projectile weapon. It shoots bullets. It can shoot something from far away. Why are you getting closer to this mother? Why? Yeah. I know what they're going for with this. He's grief-stricken, so he's not in his right mind. Grief makes you stupid enough to forget you're holding a gun. Also, like Dracula in that moment could have hypnotized the black guy, but he just didn't. He could have ordered the black guy to shoot himself in the head, you know? Just anything. Fucking anything. Oh yeah, another dumbass thing. They finally believe her that Dracula's a vampire. And like, Van Helsing, like, just in pure Mary Sue feminist fashion, said...
I am Sister Agatha Van Helsing of the St. Mary's Convent, Budapest. Captain Sokolov, you are relieved of command.
What, bitch? I think you need to chill.
Relieved of your command, bitch? What? What makes it even worse is that from here, she doesn't really do anything. She just kind of like sits around and gives orders while the men do everything. And she's not that good of a leader anyway, because despite searching the ship, they didn't notice that Dracula's cabin had a little dirt bed for him to hide and wait.
Sokolov, he's alive!
Sokolov isn't. I fear I may have bolted him.
An educated woman in a crucifix.
She's great, guys. She's great. Just accept it. After Dracula picks off everybody, Agatha and Dracula have a little heart-to-heart on deck. And his whole reason for being afraid of the cross is that he's been sucking on the necks of people who have been oppressed by the religious systems in their region, therefore leading to him absorbing their religious fear from their blood.
And yet you still fear the cross?
Everyone does, that's a problem. It's not a symbol of virtue and kindness. It's a mark of horror and oppression. Your idiot church has terrorized the peasant population for centuries, and I have been imbibing the blood of those same peasants for so long. I have absorbed their fear of the cross.
Touchdown!
Come on! Come on! Come on!
It's not a symbol of virtue and kindness.
You're not smart.
I can't wait to eat some atheists.
I don't think you're smart.
Shut up, you fedora-tipping boomer. Look, I understand that you do not have to write characters in a favorable light. You don't have to agree with the morality of the characters that you write. But that's not what's being done here. The villain is a religion-hating atheist, and the hero is a religion-hating atheist. It's obvious that the writers are inserting their fucking beliefs through these characters. It's so unbelievably transparent, I can't even laugh at it. It seems to be poo-pooing the power of religion. Religion seems to have no bearing on Dracula at all. The cross doesn't work on him. Holy water doesn't work on him, because religion is basically just an oppressive system filled with violent, ignorant fools. So therefore, our powerful villain is completely impervious to religious practices.
No, I mean, that's all very nice and logical, but...
Like, come on. Come on. Y'all ain't even trying. Y'all not even trying to be covert.
I know when you're lying.
You're trying to draw me into an argument.
She's a woman, man. So basically the plan is they've rigged the Demeter to blow. And Agatha was meant to keep him talking until the ship inevitably explodes. This is the only, like, heroic thing she's done. Like that, and she, like, kind of dropped a lantern on Dracula once. It doesn't change with episode 3. It kind of just stays there, those two things. The ship goes down in a blazing inferno. Dracula managed to get in one of his dirt boxes, and suddenly he just bursts out the box, comes out of the water, and he's right there next to England. Like, okay. Now, it's a good possibility he swam to shore, but then I'd have to fucking ask, why the hell didn't he do that the first time? If he's impervious to drowning, why not, instead of going down with the ship in one of your boxes, just swim to shore, motherfucker? Or you can dematerialize into dozens of bats, like you did in the beginning of the 3rd episode, which we will get to. We will get to that. Suddenly a fucking motorcade pulls up, and modern-day Agatha Van Helsing, or so we think. Duh. And then the episode ends, and now we need to talk about episode 3. But this time I think I'm gonna leave it to a reaction. This is a straight up reaction. I'm still going to talk about it here and there because there's a lot to talk about. I couldn't script this. I just couldn't because I think ranting would be a better option. I just could not script all of the garbage. There's some good ideas, but there's worse ideas. You know what I mean? No!
I've been dying to meet you.
Oh, could we just skip past that?
Take Mina, lose me.
Lose your dried up ass? Gladly.
You die to save this terrified child.
I'd die to save any terrified child.
Except the terrified children upstairs. We haven't forgotten, motherfucker. You left your whole convent to die. What the fuck you talking about? Fuck you mean?
I am going to make you last.
Give me that leathery neck, bitch.
You'll travel to the new world in my veins.
Come, boy. Suckle.
It's still gross. It's still really gross. It's like watching your grandparents flirt. 1 year later. 2 years later. 3. Fuck it.
Sorry.
Sorry, I've eaten so many religious people that I don't like the cross.
You're a friend of Pop's.
He invited me in.
Okay, like I've always wondered this. How did Dracula get in the fucking house? Like he said the husband invited him in, but how were you shielded from the fucking sun, motherfucker?
What have you done to my fridge?
Is the fridge the white box?
Yeah.
Pop's in the fridge.
Honey, we don't have any more milk.
Welcome to England, Count Dracula.
How did they know he was there? Apparently they're a part of this organization designed to catch Dracula and study him. But how the fuck did they know that he would suddenly wake up? Look, I'm fine with him being able to photograph, okay? But why aren't any of these motherfuckers wearing protective gear? Their fucking arms are completely exposed. They've got no neck gear. What the fuck? I have a feeling they're gonna regret that in a minute.
May I see that?
Give it to him.
Smile. I'm sure you have a very pretty smile.
What is happening right now?
There. Smile. Drop yours. Drop it.
Yeah? Y'all see this shit? Y'all see this shit?
There. You see, I'm not so bad after all. Smile.
Drop that weapon! Don't shoot him! Do not shoot him!
Okay, so a violent white male is asking a bunch of women to smile. You're just transparent as anything. Oh my god.
Killing is healthy competition. Mercy is disrespect.
And you didn't do that when the ship went down. Why? Why?
You're clearly very wealthy. Well, look at all this stuff. All this food. The moving picture box. And this treasure trove is your house.
C'est dope.
Okay, to be perfectly honest, I really like this scene. It's very charming, the fact that Dracula considers this to be high class. He's lived in dank, dark, desolate castles. That was considered, like, wealth, what he was living in. I mean, yeah, depressed wealth, but wealth. And now, like, he sees all this shiny stuff, these blinky things, where you can look at sunsets in a box, despite him being like this centuries-old nobleman, demonic creature. He's completely enamored with all of this shit. All right, that's a good idea. That's actually a pretty good scene. They just so happen to sneak a whole ass coffin in this person's house just to get him a cell phone. Y'all are this is so fucking dumb. I love how they wrecked this woman's house just to get his ass. And I bet you they won't pay not one fucking dime to get it repaired.
Hello? Count Dracula?
So you put a hole in this woman's house just to have to go in there and get him anyway?
Okay, I'm coming in.
Fucking dicks.
Scared yet?
You went in there unprepared, no steak, no weapon. We're meant to be intimidated by them and impressed that they're so prepared to capture Dracula, but they don't capture Dracula, at least not successfully. And the only reason they capture him is because Dracula so happened to drink her poisonous blood. Yeah, she has cancer, by the way. That's why her blood is poisonous to Dracula. And in this one, we're introduced to Seward and Lucy and the Texan. Not the rich guy, though. Not the guy Cary Elwes played in the 1992 movie.
What in God's name is going on up here?
For some reason, he's just not in here. And honestly, I do like how they integrated some of the story into the modern day. Lucy is an unrepentant thought who craves attention and who's obsessed with social media. I can see the Lucy of 1897 become the Lucy of 2020. Even though the Lucy in 1897, I don't think was a horror.
All time now, big check, big pulse. Sky high now, how we gonna drop? Spray with a burst.
Oh my god, is this rap song mixed to the theme of the show? Aww, that's tacky.
Everyone, this is Quincy. He's an American from Texas.
Evening.
Evening. I'm clearly a British actor pretending to be a Texan.
I never asked you what you do. Luce didn't seem sure.
Didn't seem sure. I'm a Texan, by the way.
You've got to wonder if she'd be into me if I wasn't rich. But then, would I like her if she was ugly?
I'm not blatantly foreshadowing any themes that might be addressed later. Wait a minute, is that the fucking gay guy from Cruella? Oh no! This nigga is following me! Oh my god. You'll notice that simping for Lucy is his only character trait. Like, that's it? That's all he does? Oh my god, dude, the pussy couldn't have been that good. Relax.
You weren't drinking.
I don't drink.
Good. Neither does he.
Can you tell when someone's laugh is fake?
Who funds this project? There's gotta be at least a couple billionaires who are bored out of their fucking minds right now.
Another negative, I see.
Vanilla. Your blood is so fucking basic, pleb. I mean, he was down there without any fucking food whatsoever, and his skin is perfectly intact, no necrotic flesh, and then they put their fucking bare hands in his mouth! Oh no! How could we possibly predict this would happen? The guy who's just sitting in the water, not really looking like he's asleep at all, wiggling our fingers directly into his mouth. How do we know that would end in disaster?
Why? Why is that there? What is it for? It's a toilet. I'm a vampire. Why have you given me a toilet?
Why were you in a coma? Why didn't you escape the ship by turning into a dozen bats? Why are you so much better in other iterations of this fucking story? Why fucking anything?
You have every book written during your coma and somewhere to sit.
Well, I need more than books, Zoe.
Oh, her name is Zoe. The person who named you needs to be slapped.
Take off your coat and roll up your left sleeve.
Why?
Because I told you to, and I can break you with a sunbeam.
Well, how did you establish that he could be burnt with sunlight? Like, there's no other vampires but him. I mean, he is Dracula, and he was asleep. What? Don't think, Lauren. Just feel.
I'm Dr. Helsing, and I'm the woman in charge of this foundation.
In charge of it?
Oh, of course. I suppose women's rights are just something you slept through.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Women's what? Did you say rights? Nobody has rights, Zoe. Man, woman, or monster. No one, nowhere. It's just a lunatic fantasy.
Oh, never mind. That little piece of dialogue kind of redeemed that other piece of dialogue.
Because you're going to give blood.
Well, this is a first.
Like, why is there romantic tension? Their fucking relationship is more forced than R. Kelly's love life.
I can't seem to penetrate the skin.
Oh, all this fucking preparation, and you didn't figure out even how to pierce his skin? Which means you don't know how to kill him. Or any vampire. What? Why? Why is everything so fucking retarded? Everything is dependent on how Dracula feels about Van Helsing. They were able to catch him because Dracula loves Van Helsing's blood. She was able to distract him while she was blowing up the ship because he loves conversation with this mid-bitch. She was able to keep him away from Mina because he just inexplicably fucking likes her. She has no skill but being edible and his inexplicable like for her. She's literally a Mary Sue. This is Bella Swan levels of bullshit.
This foundation was set up by Mina Murray, his fiancée. Do you remember her?
Yeah, we've seen all that. Stop putting in flashbacks when we know exactly what the hell you're talking about.
I've always approved of inherited power.
'Cause he's a white man. Mina, one of the most prominent characters of the Dracula lore, started an entire anti-Dracula foundation and somehow kept the Van Helsing ancestors involved throughout the centuries. And instead of following that plot line, we're cursed with this shit? That's way more interesting! What the?
I know mercenaries when I see them. Who's funding this place?
Yes, my question exactly.
Because people who can afford mercenaries are very rarely interested in medicine.
Facts.
I'm giving you everything. Blood is lives.
Life.
Everything is in the blood, Zoe, if you know how to read it.
You couldn't read mine, you choked on it.
I remember the flavor, though. What is that?
Bitch. It has a very bitchy musk.
You're fast, you're clever.
Current actions say otherwise.
I've sampled a spitter bouquet before, and these days, I believe you call it cancer.
Why is there like a personification of cancer in her blood? Like, I'm cancer! Ah!
This is Frank Renfield. We've been, Skyping.
You're not supposed to be online?
Well, don't you know how these things work? Terribly clever.
Why the fuck would y'all give him a tablet?
Who gave him the Wi-Fi password?
Well, it's my name.
Holy fuck, you're stupid. You're such a fucking idiot. Jesus Christ, you're dumb. Dumb, dumbity dum, dumbity dum, dum, dum. Fuck.
See, it means she likes him because his name is the Wi-Fi password. She's got a crush on him. Oh, fuck off. The super secret organization just so happens to have the most guessable Wi-Fi password in the history of ever. Strong, independent woman, y'all. Just fucking up at every turn.
Does it bother you that the man who engaged your firm in 1896 is standing over there without a single grey hair?
Quite a lot, really. In fact, I think it's properly frightening.
Just like good writing and pacing. It's just frightening, terrifying, really.
Being well over a century old is not actually against the law. What's against the law is you locking him up. I think you might have forgotten. Count Dracula has rights.
You can hear the studio audience go,
I think you might have forgotten, Dr. Helsing. Count Dracula has rights.
I'm sending you an email.
Why does he still have the tablet? Take it away from him. Oh, and if you expect any, like, elaboration on this organization or how it works, or maybe seeing any, like, vampire killing, you're not going to.
Blood.
Yeah! Did you really expect your Dracula show to have vampire killing and vampires killing? Fucking asshole!
I shall look for the perfect fruit of this world.
Oh, Dracula's got a fuckboy laugh. Also, things just happen to set up other things. Like, it's so annoying. Like, why would Seward just leave his fucking phone out? Like, there's no lockers here?
Hello, Lucy Westenra. I'm Count Dracula.
Okay, that's a really cool fucking shot. That's a really cool visual right there. It looks like Dracula's arising from a river of blood. That is so cool! Why can't everything else on the show be that cool? Oh wow, we get a sloppy time jump. Thanks, show. It's not like I wanted to see Dracula's courtship of Lucy or anything. And really, 3 months? It took him 3 months to chew up Lucy. Like, really? He's a fucking vampire? He can glamour. You know what?
Listen, for 500 years, I've not had to exercise. But
I've never had to exercise. Yeah, you really shouldn't be at all. You don't have a cardiovascular system. The fuck? I mean, he probably does, but he's fucking dead. He doesn't use it.
But these days, everything is done for you, and everything is being delivered, even food.
He treats Tinder like other people would treat DoorDash. It's kind of funny. See, there are a few more good ideas in this than there were in the other two parts, but it's bad. Oh, even food's delivered to you. Like, it's got to a fucking grocery store. They still exist, Dracula. You can still do things that non-self-absorbed shut-ins do. Another thing I like about this episode is it shows how Dracula can thrive in hookup culture. The vapid monotony of going from person to person and getting what sustenance you can and moving on to the next. Okay.
Are you sure about all this?
Or what?
Marrying Quincy.
I like him.
You're supposed to love him.
What I hate about this Lucy is that she's not sympathetic at all. She, like, you just got fucking engaged and you're already sucking on somebody else. That's one of the differences between modern Lucy and 1897 Lucy. That Lucy was likable, sympathetic, despite men being all over her. She was like an innocent girl. So when she finally gets victimized by Dracula, you feel for her. This one is like, who cares? You don't care, so why should we?
Need to feed on someone, Lucy. You don't always give your consent.
I bet this one didn't.
Fast food.
As much as I like this scene, I think I'm gonna skip it because it's just them talking about death. They love death. They happen upon this zombie child, and the zombie child, for some odd reason, follows her home. It's not explained why. It just happens.
Please avert your eyes. I have to murder a child.
The Planned Parenthood motto. Great makeup effects on the kid, though. But anyway, like Dracula, like he does in the original story, he sucks on Lucy, and then this is just a whole thing from there. He's a simp, and the simp is back!
It's very kind of you to come and see your old mentor.
She was his mentor. I never would have fucking guessed. Looks like he just went into work the first time we saw them together. Just don't question it. Just don't question it. There's nothing going on with these characters. They all had their own distinct personality, and you cared about them at least in the Bram Stoker's Dracula film. And in this, it's just like, oh yeah, you're Jack, you're Van Helsing. You only know them by their characters' names, but they're not the characters. You know what I'm saying?
May I come in?
I mean, technically you're already in. Yeah, you need an invitation, but you were already in the fucking house, nigga. You're supposed to be outside the window, not in the not in the
Am I dying?
You're mortal. You've been dying since the day you were born.
Okay, so why are you allergic to dying blood then, if we're all just dying? Duh. Duh. That is so fucked up. It's kind of funny, but it's also fucked up. Oh, yeah, look, we get it. Yeah, people of this generation are very vapid and they don't care about people, okay? Yeah, okay. They must have been rich as fuck. Like, look at that. Death pimping shit.
It's like I can hear her. I can feel her crying for me.
Was that supposed to be funny? Because it was!
Who are you? It's perfectly obvious who I am. So, what does Dracula fear?
She drank Dracula's blood a long fucking time ago. 3 months ago. And she's just now getting tips from her great aunt about how to kill Dracula. Huh? I mean, yeah, Dracula did say you gotta know how to read the blood, but, like, she must be a slow-ass reader. She must be dyslexic. She needs some hooked on phonics. Something.
What does he want and what does he fear? I don't know. I don't care. It's not my problem anymore.
Our hero, everybody. You gotta kill Dracula. What are you gonna do about it? I don't know. I don't care. She didn't do shit in the first 2 episodes either. And in the 3rd episode, she's even more useless. Why? Why?
I'm Sister Agatha Van Helsing of the St. Mary's Convent, Budapest, and neither of us are quite done yet.
Goodbye now. I'm menacingly looking out the window in this very symmetrical scene. What was the point of that? So much time wasted on bullshit when we could have been world building, getting some character development going, but, you know... Hi! Hello! When she fed on somebody, though, why didn't she, like, grow skin? Vampires are supposed to be beautiful once they, like, become vampires and, you know, eat and whatever. Don't mind us. We're just gonna go to Dracula's house without weapons or any means of fighting back. Because we just trust this centuries-old monster not to kill us instantly. Ugh.
Put him down.
Why?
This is England. Conversation precedes dinner.
He could have still killed him, though.
Now might be a good time to reflect that beauty is only skin deep.
It's only skin deep. And that bitch ain't got no skin.
Kiss me like you used to.
I mean, okay, she thinks she's beautiful in the mirror, okay, but she didn't just look down at her hand like, oh shit, I look like barbecue chicken. I mean, she doesn't have, like vision? Like, what the?
Kiss the girl, Dr. Seward.
And you don't know why, but she smell like burnt fries, you're gonna kiss the girl. I mean, she doesn't feel the pain of all the sores. Like, how did she not? Oh, that's creepy. Okay. She acts like fucking Gollum when she's not even in the reflection. In the reflection, she's like, beautiful lady. She needed a cell phone to see that she looked like Freddy Krueger's swirl hookup. Like, what? Come on.
Listen to me. Listen. Listen to me. Listen!
I mean, the acting is really good here, but I just don't care. I don't give a damn. I mean, it's like a bad stage play. I mean, it doesn't feel like, oh, it's a vampire thing. Like, barely anyone has been fucking killed.
Lucy Westerner, there has never been a day I didn't want to kiss you.
Oh god, the simpage. The simpage! Even when she looks like a fucking dinosaur turd.
That is one big pile of shit.
They're kissing, you know, so we should kiss. Yeah, what is that about? Get a good look at that crappy effect because it's the last time you'll see it. Dracula staked one of his brides, and that didn't happen. I guess they need to get to modern day times to update the CGI. I guess.
She almost seemed in love with death.
That's it. That is everything. And that's why her. Jack, you must go. I'm about to have a personal conversation with Count Dracula, and I'm certain he won't want it witnessed.
Are you guys ready for the dumbest shit you've ever seen? Sun's out, so you think that Dracula would fuck off to his coffin, but no.
Dr. Helsing, I think you drank my blood.
What the f- Oh, it never fails to be funny, but let's stop for a minute. Dracula, she can't run that fast. Why did you stop her? Dying waif bitch. Like, you could have stopped her at any point. You know you're allergic to sunlight. Well, we'll get to that. You had every opportunity to stop her right then, and you didn't. You have super speed, my nigga. Like, you just let her do that. This is 10 times funnier because I already know why. I already know the particulars behind this.
I don't understand.
Neither do we.
Cannot bear to look in a mirror. Dracula, who won't stand revealed in the sunlight, who cannot enter home without invitation. These aren't curses. They are merely habits that become fetishes, that become legends that even you believe.
There are several dozen fucking reasons why that logic does not work.
What are you afraid of? You are a warrior from a long line of warriors. All of them fell as heroes on the battlefield, but not you. The warlord who skulks in the shadows and steals the lives of others, who sleeps in a box of dirt yet dreams of a warrior's grave, who suddenly found himself in thrall of a girl in love with the thing he fears the most. Death.
Okay, but that whole fucking scene in the graveyard, he seems to really get off on death. He seems to be fine with it. I mean, as evidenced by everything he's fucking done throughout this whole series. And I get it. Okay, he wants someone who could love death. Okay, I can buy that. But you're saying that he is afraid of death. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I remember watching Blackula recently, and the thing that carries over from Dracula into Blackula is that they are very ashamed of being undead. They want to be dead because they're living with this undead curse. They see themselves as an abomination. So why would he be afraid of death? One minute she's like, you dream of a warrior's grave, and the next second he's afraid of death. It's like, make up your fucking minds. It doesn't make any sense.
I call you ashamed. Count Dracula is ashamed.
See, now that's some bullshit.
Shuffle back to your box of dirt. The game is over. You lose. You will live forever in shame.
Will live in shame. That's how he's defeated. Shame. I made you feel ashamed. You lose, I win. What? He's afraid of sunlight and shit from word of mouth. Either that or because the people he sucked on had these same beliefs. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, clever. Look at that imagery. Basically, Agatha Van Helsing beat Dracula by just calling him a pussy. You're a cock Dracula, Count Cockula. Oh, but it gets better, though. It gets a lot better.
This is a dream.
Of course it is.
Oh, now they're getting fucky. Oh.
You're drinking my blood, but my blood is deadly to you.
Yes.
So you'll die.
Oh, what is this? This is so undignified.
After all this time, did you think I'd let it hurt?
Yeah, kinda, because you're a unholy hell beast, you know, who kills people. So yeah, that is some old horse shit. I told y'all it was gonna be bad. Are you kidding? In the first episode, he disclosed that he experiments on his brides, trying to find out what are his weaknesses through their weaknesses. They were impervious to the cross. He should have known that. They could die from stakes. We know that. Now, we don't know how his brides fared with sunlight because they cleverly kept that under wraps until the third episode. And when I mean cleverly, like not cleverly at all. He's supposed to be very experimental. He says he loves science and hates religion, of course. So why in the fuck, blood of the fearful be damned, why in the fuck has he not fucking figured out that he is impervious to sunlight until now? He would definitely test these theories out to make sure they're correct. Cause he's just that type of fucking character. That's how they set him up. And now, episode 3, they're telling us, oh, well, you sucked on these people who thought these legends were real. Therefore, you thought they were real. They depower him to uplift Agatha because Agatha's so fucking useless. Both Agathas, Seward and Lucy. I mean, Lucy, there's kind of some character there, but it's not, you don't care. You just do not fucking care. Especially with how stupid the ending was. Him and Agatha, they're together at last. They're on a bed, like in the center of the sun or some bullshit. What the hell was that? I'm sorry, but no. Part 2, baby. We finally got it out 1 year later. I finally endured this garbage again just to bring you guys some Halloween entertainment. Halloween entertainment that might be a little late. This might be in November. Yeah, but I'm gonna go to bed. It's like fucking 3 a.m. I might go into a vampire coma. See y'all in like 123 years. Peace.